Welcome back to Castles and Canals, and this time Milan has both. A 600-year-old castle, canal-side hideaways, world-class art, and food worth flying for. We're spending a weekend in the city and bringing you along with us. Let's go. Hello and welcome back to Castles and Canals. For this weekend, we are actually doing a surprise birthday adventure with our friend Christy. So it is her birthday weekend and we said, you know what? It's time for us to tag along because we are in Milan for the first time. So we are so excited. We have some really unique things planned, some of which we saw on some other YouTube channels, and of course the Travel Man show in the UK, which we love. So I'm super excited for everything we have planned this weekend, but we have to start somewhere.
We're going to start here at the Duomo di Milano, which is a 16th century Gothic church. I believe it's the oldest Gothic church.
I think so.
In Italy.
We'll fix it by putting something on screen if we're wrong.
From the outside, it's absolutely incredibly impressive. It's literally covered in statues.
So intricate, really cool.
I want to know who had the job of writing the sketches to do all the.
Yeah.
It's like who's going to be on the outside of it.
Absolutely. But you do have to remember when you are in Italy and you are coming to these cathedrals, these churches, you have to make sure your shoulders are covered. And so that's why Tori is going to bring something to put over her dress. And you need to make sure also that your thighs are covered as well. Yeah, down to your knees. So that is why, unfortunately, it's about 30 degrees now, and I am sweating in pants right now.
Yeah, it's to note for this trip, we were actually here during a heat dome in May. Yeah. So it is unseasonably warm here.
So we are here on a Dutch holiday weekend in some of Europe, but it's not a holiday weekend in Italy. So there's a lot more tourists, but thankfully things are open. So we have some stuff planned on the Monday, and thankfully we know it's going to be open because it isn't a recognized bank holiday here. So it's Vit Monday in most of Europe.
Awesome. Well, I think our time slot's coming up to enter the church. So
let's go.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Duomo di Milano. Every road in Milan seems to lead here. A bronze king holds the square, Italy's very first. Up close, the cathedral is staggering. 6 centuries of pink-white marble carved into a whole forest of spires reaching for the sky. And it never stops. Every surface crawls with carved saints more than any other building on earth. The moment you step inside, the city falls away. The vaults soar 45 meters overhead, held up by 52 colossal marble columns, one, they say, for every week of the year. And look closely at the lacework above you, because it isn't carved at all, it's painted, totally an illusion. By the altar hangs a painting from 1597 by Federico Zuccari. Saint Agatha, a young martyr, visited in her cell by Saint Peter, who, the story goes, miraculously heals her wounds. And everywhere, colored light. These windows are among the largest in the world, once called the Bible of the Poor, telling sacred stories to those who couldn't read. And beyond them waits the organ, one of the grandest in all of Italy. If the Duomo is Milan's soul, the Galleria right next door might be its living room. This is the Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II, and it's the oldest active shopping gallery in Italy. It was built between 1865 and 1877, all iron and glass with a soaring dome about 47 meters overhead.
So what are we looking for? A bull's testicle? Is that it?
Yes, bull testicles. Just step on.
Face track. Dan, explain to us what this is and what we're doing.
Oh, that is tough. So we're in Milan, and in the Vittorio Emanuele glass arcade, there's a mosaic that houses a bull. In tradition in Milan, you have to, with your heel on the button of the bull, spin 3 times, and it's supposed to come out. Good luck.
Okay.
That would have
Now,
been my joint.
say butt or ball? Because I think earlier it was testicle.
I'm trying to use polite terms.
Okay.
But yes.
It's genitalia.
Genitalia.
Okay.
And a birthday girl with us will be doing this to hopefully promote good luck for her for the year.
For the year, it only makes sense to do, right?
It only makes sense.
Yeah, all right.
It only makes sense.
Let's go check it out.
Let's check it out.
Yeah. Turning the wrong way.
You're spinning the counterclockwise. Oh, there you go.
Did I do it right?
So many people have done it over the years that there's a worn little hollow in the stone.
Yes, Danny. Yes, I feel a little dizzy. I feel so much good luck though. Woo!
There you go.
Hey, look, the beautiful arch leads you to the golden mountains.
All right, so that was pretty cool, but here's a tip. When you show up there, just go for it. There's a crowd, everybody's trying to get in there and do a little spin move, but it gets super busy, so you need to go in there and just take your chance, do your spin, get your good luck, and get out. Very cool place though. A lot of nice shops here that we could never really afford, but yeah, definitely a beautiful place to visit.
Just a few minutes from the Duomo, down a quiet side street, there's a small church that looks like nothing special. Until you step through a doorway to the side and find the walls are made of bone. This is San Bernardino alle Ossa, one of the most extraordinary places in Milan. It began with an ordinary problem. Back in 1145, a hospital and cemetery were built nearby, and like a lot of medieval cities, Milan simply ran out of room to bury its dead. So in 1210, a small chamber was built to hold the bones, and the church rose up beside it later. The remains came from hospital patients, the monks who cared for them, even the local prison. And rather than hide them away, someone arranged them, almost tenderly, into patterns. Skulls set into the walls, bones framing the doorways. It sounds grim, but it isn't really about death. It's a memento mori, an old reminder that life is short, so live it. Look up, and a glowing 17th century fresco shows souls rising among the angels. It's free, often nearly empty, and it stays with you long after you leave. Now you might be thinking, really? A Starbucks on a Milan travel vlog? Stick with us, because this one has a story. This is the Starbucks Reserve Roastery, and it sits inside a former post office building from 1901 on Piazza Corduccio, all marble and high ceilings and grandeur. Back in 1983, a young Howard Schultz came to Milan, sat in the city's espresso bars, and fell completely in love. Not just with the coffee, but with the sense of community, the connection between the barista and the regulars. He took that feeling home to Seattle, and it became the blueprint for Starbucks as the world knows it.
So we wanted some coffee, and we thought, you know, while we're in Milan, Italy, where they're famously known for the coffee, where should we go to? Starbucks, right? Well, Dan looked it up, and the Starbucks here is the Starbucks Reserve. We've never been to one of these before. Wow.
Wild. They even have espresso martinis. Very nice.
This is like seriously, like it's like an attraction unto itself almost.
So for decades, opening a store in Milan, the city that inspired the whole thing, was the one place he said felt like climbing Everest. And in September 2018, more than 30 years later, he finally did it. This was the very first Starbucks in all of Italy. A genuine full circle moment. This is only the third roastery on Earth after Seattle and Shanghai. At the heart of the room is a huge custom roasting machine, copper pipes running coffee beans overhead across the whole space. The beans are small batch Arabica, sourced from around 30 different countries. There's a bakery from a famous Milanese baker, cocktails, the works. Now, plenty of Italians will tell you they'll stick to their tiny local bar and their €1 espresso. Thank you very much. And honestly, fair enough. But there's something fascinating about standing in this exact spot, the place where the idea was born, finally brought home decades later in style. Love it or roll your eyes at it, it's a piece of coffee history, and we couldn't not see it. Walk a few minutes from the city center and the streets suddenly open up. And there it is, behind a moat, behind walls of deep red brick, the Castello Sforzesco, one of the largest castles in all of Europe, sitting right in the middle of a modern city.
All right, next up we are going to Castello Sforzesco, which is one of the most iconic 15th century Renaissance castles in Italy.
Fascinating. Good facts.
Did you know they had castles in Italy?
I gather that, yeah.
I thought it was all churches, not so much castles.
No, I mean, everyone needs a castle every now and then.
Yeah.
Gotta break it up.
We got this fountain in front, which we learned was
Made for Mussolini.
so.
And it was a temporary fountain in 1933. And then it's gone through some different iterations. It was a metro stop at one point. And in the early 2000s, they brought the fountain back to make it permanent.
So originally a fountain for a fascist.
Yep,
Do you think it's still a fascist fountain? Or just a fountain?
just a fountain.
It's just a fountain, folks. Come enjoy it. It's hot today. Water looks nice. Let's go check it out.
The first thing you pass under is the great central tower, about 70 meters tall, the grand gateway into the whole complex. And if you look up as you go through, you'll spot something strange carved up there. What looks like a dragon or a serpent with a tiny human figure held in its jaws. That's the Biccioni, the ancient emblem of the Visconti, the family that first ruled Milan from this very castle. The Sforza kept it when they took power, and somehow it never left the city. Look closely next time you see an Inter Milan badge or the front of any Alfa Romeo, there's the exact same serpent. Because this castle has lived several completely different lives. But when their dynasty fell, the people of Milan tore it to the ground. Then in the 1450s, a new ruler, Francesco Sforza, rebuilt it from the rubble. This time, not just as a stronghold, but as a palace fit for the most powerful family in the city. And it just kept reinventing itself. Fortress, palace, army barracks. It survived foreign rulers and even Napoleon's troops, and it's been battered, rebuilt, and restored more times than anyone can count. Yet here it still stands. 6 centuries of dukes and emperors and sieges,
That's cool.
and now it simply belongs to everyone, which might be the most Milanese thing of all.
There's some proper castles, but no canals. So this appears to be like a really big complex. There's a lot of courtyards and little structures. There's also a museum here. We didn't go in the museum itself. Apparently there's like some Michelangelo art and stuff here as well. So it seems like you could spend many hours just walking around the grounds here and stuff. It's quite beautiful, but unfortunately we don't have time today. I'm gonna go back to the hotel to chill for a bit, and then we have a really fun activity up next. I'm so excited for it. Very intimate, so can't wait to show you guys what we're doing. See you in a bit. All right, so we are heading off to a place called Backdoor 43. This place is billed as the world's smallest bar. It has room for exactly 4 people. That will be the 4 of us. And we get a private cocktail experience for around 2 hours, I believe, where the bartender just makes us custom cocktails. So saw this online, was really excited to try it out, so let's go check it out.
To visit Backdoor 43, we headed over to Milan's Canal District. Down on the Navili Canal, blink and you'll miss it. Backdoor 43 is said to be the smallest bar in the world, barely 4 square meters, bathroom included. A masked bartender slides cocktails out through a tiny hatch next to the door. Or, if you book ahead, like we did, the whole place is yours. All 4 stools of it. It's been hidden here since 2015. It's reservation only with a €15 deposit per person that goes straight towards your drinks. Once you step inside, you are greeted by your personal bartender. They will explain what kinds of drinks are on offer, including an amazing collection of Scotch whiskey, how your hour window works, and also provide you with some light bar snacks. There's a collection of specialty drinks you can pick from a menu of postcards. Or you can do what we did and just let your bartender craft something special for you.
Okay, so we just finished up our hour at Backdoor 43. What do we think?
It was so cool. So cool. Such a cool experience.
Really unique. Really glad that we watch YouTube and we're able to find out about this. So like and subscribe.
Yeah, no, the bartender was an absolute treat. He took our very basic kind of like suggestions and made custom cocktails for all of us.
I mean, really basic. All I said was I would like something sweet.
Or spicy.
Yeah.
Spicy, yeah. I said something with Japanese whiskey and he put together this bomb drink, so.
Yeah, it was really cool. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, make sure you go online and make reservations early. It does fill up. You get like an hour slot and your first drink's included with the price of booking.
Yep.
Yeah. Check it out, it's very cool.
Get on it.
On Saturday, we took a trip to Como, Italy. It was such an epic day, it deserves its own vlog. Make sure you're subscribed so you won't miss it. Back in Milan, and we were craving some gelato, so we decided to check out a top-rated spot, the Gelateria Lab.
So, we decided to come out for some gelato tonight.
Obviously, you have to have it at least once a day while in Italy.
Yes. So we came to the Gelateria Lab, which is highly rated on Google.
4.9 out of 5.
With like almost 1,000 reviews. Yes. This is like, you can tell it's really like fresh, nicely made gelato. When we were in Italy previously, we had a tour guide explain to us how you tell it's fresh.
Yes. Which you need to make sure that, one, it's not in a mound, so you want to make sure that you're at a place where it's either flat, because basically you can tell that they're using artificial either sweeteners or something to like make it into that mound.
Stabilizers, just stabilizers.
Stabilizers, yeah, that's it. And then the The second thing is you want to make sure that it's natural colors and natural flavors, because it should not be like bright pink. Like that's also an indicator. Now, to tell that something is good is you also want to see if there's lids on top of them. So if there's lids like they have here, that means it's going to be really good. So I think they basically said, like, if it looks boring, it's probably going to be amazing. And so far, they don't lie. This I'm giving a 5 out of 5. Amazing.
Absolutely delicious.
Love it.
As a follow-up from our vegan friends,
So we love this place because there were like 7 or 8 vegan flavors. Not just your
including
salted pistachio. Yeah.
Pistachio, we're in Italy, we have to say, right?
But not just your typical mango and lemon. There's other ones.
They have pamplemousse, which is grapefruit,
Yes.
which also sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Awesome options.
Have you tried it yet?
Yeah, it's delicious.
5 out of 5? 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
After days of marble and crowds, we gave ourselves a slower kind of Sunday at QC Spa of Wonders, a spa tucked right up against Milan's 16th century Spanish walls. And the place hides a secret. This whole site was once a 19th century tram depot, back when Milan still ran on horse-drawn trams. They've leaned right into that history because parked out in the garden sits a real vintage tram, reborn as a sauna. It's said to be the world's very first sauna built inside one. Inside, it's more than 30 different experiences. Warm pools and whirlpools, steam rooms, and hushed relaxation spaces to drift between. A couple of them you don't forget. One pool is wrapped in glass, built around ancient ruins. You can see straight through the water. And then there's the cinema pool, where you float in the warmth while a whole thunderstorm plays out in light and sound around you. That's what the Virgin Voyage cruise had too.
All right, so we just wrapped up at the QC Spa of Wonders.
Super fun.
This is a spa like I don't think I've ever seen before.
50, nope, let me change that. 66 euros for up to 5 hours. And it gives you access to like 30 plus wellness rooms. Really cool, really varied. I think, just my favorite. What was your favorite?
It was a little janky, but I really like the thunderstorm room with the full rain experience.
That was really cool, and we got video of that, which is awesome. If I had to pick a favorite, I mean, I always love a hot tub. Like, it's really hard for me not. I know there's like 30 hot tubs. Anyway, like whenever we're in water, I get really excited. So I did really like that experience. Multiple experiences. There was also that's it. Obviously, the sauna in the tram. Like that has to be my number one. Tram sauna, and then right into the cold plunge, and it was fantastic. Again, 10 out of 10 recommend. Milan is crushing it this weekend.
Yeah, little word of warning. We're here on a Sunday morning on a holiday weekend, so I take that for what it is.
Yeah.
But they let people in like every half an hour window, I think, something like that. And like you said, you get like a 5 hour window.
Yeah. Your wristband, it's all different colors.
It gets busy. it gets real busy. So like if you're in the basement where all like the pool stuff is, you're climbing over people sometimes. You just have to be cool about it, I guess. It's just
Be cool. Be relaxed. It's a
somebody's
spa.
gonna steal your flip flops. Just grab some other flip flops. Keep going.
Yeah.
But
Really nice though. I mean, so 66 euros. It includes a robe, flip flops, and then there's general access. They have water around, but you can pay for extras like a massage or a wellness lunch if you want to. But we just went with the regular. It was great. I'm feeling very refreshed.
Had a lovely time.
Feeling well.
Definitely recommended. All right, so next we're gonna head out to a food market, or food hall market, and it's the #1 rated one in Milano. So let's go check it out.
Let's do it. Milano Centrale isn't just a train station. It's one of the grandest in Europe, a vast marble monument to the golden age of travel. But tucked into one side of it, in a space that sat abandoned for years, is something you have to check out, the Mercato Centrale. It opened back in 2021, and they've kept this one deliberately raw. Bare brick, old vaults, graffiti-style art across the walls, the bones of the station still showing through. Inside, it's around 30 independent artisans, each doing one thing and doing it properly. Neapolitan pizza pulled straight from the oven, fresh pasta rolled by hand, Tuscan steak, seafood, cheese, cured meats, warm bread, and of course, gelato. We did a couple laps to take it all in, and then inevitably we had to choose. Whatever you go for here, it's pretty hard to go wrong.
All right, so lunch at the Mercatale was nice. It's a very busy place. It's right attached to Centrale Station in Milan. So tons of people, tons of luggage, bring your patience pants, but there's quite a bit there. Some vegan options for our friends. We had some fairly boring food ourselves. I had a smash burger from Joe's American Burgers, which is, you know, a little piece of home for. And then Danny had a nice pizza. Not as good as yesterday, she said, but still quite good. Since then, we've traveled up to the Brera neighborhood. It's a bohemian neighborhood where they have hopefully some art and stuff like that. We're looking for some paintings and stuff to bring home, so let's have a look what's here.
Just north of the Duomo, the whole character of the city changes. The wide boulevards give way to narrow cobbled streets, ivy-draped balconies, tiny galleries, and antique shops. This is Brera, Milan's artist quarter. People call it the city's Montmartre, and once you're wandering through it, you understand why. For more than 2 centuries, painters and students have come here to study at the Brera Art Academy, and that creative spirit never really left. So we set ourselves a little mission, to bring home a piece of art. Not a fridge magnet, but something real, made by someone from here. And we found it, from an artist selling prints of her amazing work in a little stand on the street. At the heart of the neighborhood sits its grand old soul, the Palazzo Brera. We slipped inside just to peek at the courtyard, a beautiful arcaded square with a towering bronze statue of Napoleon at its center. It's by the sculptor Canova, who cast him not as the man he really was, but as a heroic Roman god. Up the grand staircase beyond it lies the Pinacoteca, one of Italy's greatest art collections. But honestly, the piece of art we cared about most that day was the one we just bought, out on the street.
Okay, so we stopped at this place called Spoon, S-P-U with an accent N, and they have these various kinds of special tiramisus. I've got the fragola, which seems to be like a strawberry flavored one. Comes in this neat little box. Let's see what it looks like. Let's give it, oops, shit. Let's give it a try. That is really good. It's like, it's got the consistency of tiramisu, very soft, sweet inside, a bit cakey, and it's got these strawberry crunchy things on top. That's dangerously good. Yeah, this is a 5 out of 5. It wasn't very expensive either. I got this and 2 drinks for like 10 euros, so. If you see this place, check it out. It's quite good.
When we were deciding to join the group in Milan, the one thing I had on my list was seeing this middle finger statue. I somehow ran across it on Instagram, and so we had to see it. Nice thing is, the first thing we did on our way to Duomo was we bumped into the statue, actually. So it's exactly where we wanted it to be. It's kismet. So this statue is actually entitled L.O.V.E. And so it is a giant marble hand with every finger severed except for the middle one, placed directly in front of the Italian Stock Exchange in Piazza Affari. The gesture is widely interpreted as a critique of financial power, especially in the aftermath of the 2008 economic crisis. So LOVE is actually an acronym, and in English, it's freedom, hatred, revenge, eternity. So, pretty cool statue. Definitely have to check it out. And just like that, our time in Milan was up. We grabbed a quick sandwich and then it was off to the airport. What better way to spend our time waiting for our bus home than recapping the amazing weekend we just had? We had a blast in Milan. The food was great, the company was great, the experiences were amazing. 10 out of 10 recommend. Please check it out. So make sure you like and subscribe because the next video is going to be all about Como and you don't want to miss it. See you next time.